John Wick, with my clans. They really think you really have fans. Scar behind me like a Mayan man. Got this girl breaking like a dam.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Chris Wave Grace back at it with another video. Now today we got 5 reactions of innocent convicts set free. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to your boy, we on the road to 400 subs by the end of August. It's looking like we 5 subscribers away. So let's say like 4:30 by the end of August. So let's get right into it. 5 reactions of innocent convicts set free. Hit that like button. Let's go.
When the Honduran immigrant was accused of killing 2 women, a man who was sentenced to die literally was on death row.
So it's the case of this guy named Clemente Aguirre. And if I tell you the story, you'll say you got to be making the up. It can't be true.
14 years, 4 months, and 19 days. I've been incarcerated. 10 years, 3 months of them in death row.
Damn.
On June 25th, 2004, in Altamonte, Florida, 24-year-old Clemente was indicted on charges of first-degree murder and burglary, a crime that he did not commit.
From the start,
That's
Aguirre
crazy.
Jarquin said he found the women dead, that he tried to help, and that's how their blood got on his clothes and his footprints.
It was a gruesome crime that found his neighbors, 68-year-old Carol Barris and 47-year-old Cheryl Williams, stabbed to death. However, despite Clemente protesting his innocence, police decided he was the only possible suspect and he was sentenced to death. In the 14 years on death row, Clemente never stopped trying to clear his name. And he wasn't wrong either. As it turns out, Samantha, Cheryl's daughter, prior to the murder, was diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder.
Huh?
Inches of the mother's body and in a bathroom where the state argued the killer cleaned up is the daughter's blood, a trail of the daughter's blood going to the bathroom, and then the mother's blood on the outside of the daughter's window. And there's in the doctor's notes a few years before this happened where she says to her mother, "I'm gonna kill you if I ever get out of here. I'll kill all of you." Then we find out that she has confessed all over town. We had people coming in all over the place, testifying, affidavits that she said, "I killed my mother and my grandmother, I'll do it to you."
With such irrefutable evidence implicating Cheryl's daughter, the day finally arrived for Clemente.
I do know that nobody believed me back then. No one. Besides my mother, nobody could believe. And I thank you for it. From the bottom of my heart.
He holds back tears and immediately heads towards friends and family to celebrate.
But today is a brighter day, a new day, and I got good hopes for the future.
This is
That's
Devontae
crazy.
Sanford, who in 2007 was sentenced to 37 to 90 years in prison. A horrific quadruple murder that he did not commit.
Quadruple
He was
murder.
only 14 years old at the time. Devontae was walking outside his home in his pajamas when he was arrested just 3 blocks away from a vicious crime scene involving 4 people and an AK-47 assault rifle. Devontae was taken to the local police station.
Wait, so they arrested a little kid that was wearing pajamas, and they arrested him because they thought that he committed. Breathe. That shit is so stupid. I'm not even gonna curse. That shit is so stupid. Like,
Where it turns out that the police coerced him into a false confession with the use of leading questions and feeding him facts from the case. To make matters worse, his lawyer at the time didn't help by convincing him
The
to
hell
enter
is
a
that?
guilty plea. His current lawyer had this to say.
In the course of their targeting him, they literally fabricated evidence and committed perjury in order to ensure that this young man, that they could get a conviction.
But just 3 weeks later, there was another twist in this tale. And that twist came in the form of hitman Vincent Smothers. Smothers was arrested for 12 murders, 4 of which turned out to be the case that Sanford was convicted for. The lack of action from the justice courts got the attention of the Northwestern Center of Wrongfully Convicted Youths, who pushed to reopen the case, which led to DeMonte's freedom in 2016.
It was a homecoming 9 years in the making.
Interestingly enough, Devonte is thankful to one particular person for his freedom. Smothers.
He protected me, not the cops. The cops took advantage of me. It's because of this man. You know, I'm able to walk and breathe and just, you know, be at peace.
As it turns out, all that time spent wrongfully incarcerated may have taken its toll on Sanford, who found it hard acclimatizing back into regular society.
New and serious trouble for Devonte Sanford. The 25-year-old was convicted of murder here in Detroit, then exonerated and released from prison.
He was arrested for assault in 2018, and this time, there was no hitman to take the heat.
Oh my god. Like, you spent... Oh my god. You see, but there's like a cause and effect. You know, like as a little kid, they freaking arrest you for something that you didn't do. But then, at the same time, it takes years for them to reopen the case and everything. But already at that time, like, you in freaking juvie and then in actual jail, and then you get out, and then you think everything is dandy and sweet until 2 years later. Then you go back, bro. Like, nigga, you didn't learn from the time that you was in jail, bro. Like, what?
In 1991,
How you
Queens,
do that?
New York, 19-year-old Gregory Counts and 21-year-old Van Dyke Perry were sentenced to life in prison for a crime they did not commit. The victim was held at knife point out front of her Queens home, thrown into a car, and driven to Central Park, where she was then raped multiple times. She claimed that the men responsible were Counts, Perry, and a third unknown man. In 2017, after having already served 11 years, the Innocence Project reinvestigated the Counts and Perry case using DNA that was retested. DNA cleared both Counts and Perry from the semen found on the victim. It led to a man who was deceased. Weird, right? So why would the victim make up such a heinous story and send 2 innocent men to jail? The answer will get your blood boiling.
The complainant now admits that her boyfriend forced her to lie and falsely claim these men sexually assaulted her. Her boyfriend was trying to avoid having to pay a debt to these 2 men.
All that for a boyfriend avoiding debt, the things we do for money. Let's have a look as both Counts and Perry sit in court, hearing the sweet sound of freedom echoing throughout. They do their best to hold back their emotions. Although they are free and reintegrating back into society now, it's clear that this horrible, unjust story will haunt both these men for the rest of their lives.
It's never going to be over. The reason why, because it tormented my life and it's my past.
1993, New Jersey. 22-year-old Tito Marino was murdered in his video store. Another gruesome death by stabbing. Eric Kelly and Ralph Lee were both convicted of a crime they had no connection to. The whole story was put together by police using coercion and a sketchy eyewitness. They then used those statements against Lee, and that's how they nailed their conviction. It wasn't until once again the Innocence Project got involved in their case that Eric and Ralph felt a bit of hope.
And the state has just dug in their heels ever since. They refused to investigate this other person, refused to talk to him, didn't look into his history, and instead are just, blindly clinging to this conviction at all costs.
Lee was released after 11 years. However, it wasn't until 2018, after having spent 24 years in prison, that Kelly was finally given back his freedom, after new DNA evidence was presented to the judge in court.
Therefore, I would for reasons
Interestingly enough, we find Judge Joseph Portelli in full Karen mode.
That's what I mean.
moment was a moment of justice. Okay? Not something to celebrate or not something
I'm not sure about you, but freedom after 24 years of wrongful incarceration seems like a pretty good
exactly.
reason to
Like, what
celebrate.
the fuck? Like this isn't a moment to be happy or celebrating. Nigga, what? How you say that?
Lee didn't let this dampen their moods. Both were hungry, high in spirits, and thankful for everyone that had played a part in their release.
Mainly, I want to eat. I'm a little hungry. Be with my legal team. I want to thank them. I want to thank my family. First and foremost, it's been a long time. I just don't know. I'm just out of words right now. I'm just feeling good right now. That's all.
What would you want someone who didn't know anything about your case to know?
I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent man.
All's well that ends well. For now.
The fuck that mean?
Right, in the case of People versus Juan Ignacio Catalan, is that your true name?
This is Juan Catalan, the man saved by sitcom. An alibi caught on camera, but not in the way you think. On May 13th, 2003, 16-year-old Martha Puebla, a witness in a case of a gang slaying, was shot and killed in front of her home in Sun Valley, California. It wasn't until 3 months later that the FBI arrested 24-year-old Juan Catalan during a raid in front of his family's machine shop. Juan was interrogated for hours. It seemed like they already had a huge amount of evidence against him. A witness sketch that looks like you. A witness that was supposed to take the stand against your brother gets murdered in cold blood. It doesn't look good. But Juan consistently pleads his innocence, telling officers that they're trying to pin this crime on the wrong person.
You guys are gonna take away my life for this bullshit. What is this? You killed somebody. Wait a minute. Those are very strong words right there. I did not kill nobody. I would never kill nobody. I never do anything to hurt anybody. Convince us otherwise.
As things get sticky, Juan remembered that he was at a Dodgers game with his daughter on that day. But a stadium full of tens of thousands of people, what are the chances that someone captured him there? And even more so, the chances that you'd be able to retrieve said footage. Well, this is where this case becomes wild.
What?
Juan remembered he was on TV, but not the Dodgers cam. It just so happened that Larry David, the creator of Seinfeld and star of the HBO show Curb Your Enthusiasm, was shooting an episode in the exact same aisle as Catalan and his daughter.
The episode was that I picked up a hooker in the carpool lane and took her to Dodger Stadium.
What are the chances? Juan's lawyer contacted HBO.
That's
got
so
access to the footage of that
crazy.
episode and ran the tapes. Hours of
Where's he
research
at?
brought no results, and he was running out of tape and felt like he wasn't going to get what he needed. And then there it was, the once-in-a-lifetime chance of an alibi caught on tape.
And I pointed at the screen and I said, that's him, roll that back.
This footage, combined with a phone call made to his girlfriend at the exact time he was leaving the stadium, led to his case being thrown out.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Both detectives were found guilty of coercion and falsifying their reports. As for Juan, what can you say? Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
From getting the tickets on the day of to being caught on camera, but what are the chances that out of 58,000 seats, they're filming on my aisle? I look at it like I did win the lottery because I got a new opportunity at life, with my family. I was so happy and grateful for that.
That's so crazy. Like who would have thought that little thing would have changed your whole life? That's so crazy. Like, that shit, got my mind blown. But if any of these stories interested you, write it down in the comment section below. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then get this video to 5 likes and I got y'all with the next following video. Again, we on the road to 400 subs. by the end of August. And again, we are about to hit that. We need 5 more subscribers to hit the goal. And then the next goal gonna be 430 or 500, so on and so forth. Like, the big goal is to make it to 1,000 and more. So hope you guys have a good night and peace.